Good morning. How are we? I've not been on this week, so please accept my apologies, but I've been ever so busy. I do my Christmas shopping in November, so I'll try to get it all out of the way. So I've been to Manchester and done some shopping, and yeah, so I've been busy. So sorry about that. Can't take you everywhere. Don't want to go shopping in Manchester with me, do you? So anyway, I've come up to the allotment today. I thought I'd do a bit, just tidy it up. I'll give you an update about what's going on later on. But initially, I don't think they've been up yet to take samples. And we'll have a look around in a minute and see what's going on. Everything just looks the same really, because it's winter now, isn't it? So you don't get a lot of weeds. First of all, it's time for a cuppa, and then we'll do a bit. Let's crack on. So first of all, I'm going to take down this because I think it's had it. So I'll probably put some sort of fencing up next year, but for now I'll take this down. So I've brought my pumpkins down here. So I'm just going to put them on my compost heap. They can just rot down. I haven't got the seeds though. The seeds are at home. So, chuck them on. Let's have a little look around and see what's happening in November. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be eating this veg until I know the outcome. Yeah, we'll have a bit of a tidy up and a look round. And then you can see how mine is progressing in November and what I've got going on. Some things have bolted, so let me show you what's going on. So in there, we've still got things happening. Cabbages, they're still going. I'm going to take the outer leaves off them because they look a bit chewed, but they're still growing, so they should be right in spring. I might even take some of them. It just depends on what the outcome is. So we've got kale in there, so everything seems to be growing fine. It's just slow now, everything's going to slow down. Now I've got a little cauliflower there, and I've got one up here in there, and a little one there, and these have bolted. So this was, I think, some sort of broccoli. I don't label anything, so you know what it's like. And I think that was a calabrese there. And I think that was a Romanesco, because there's one there. That's a Romanesco. I've got quite a few weeds, so it needs weeding. Just a tickle anyway. And I think these are sprouting broccoli, but there's nothing happening on them. That's a Romanesco there as well, if you can see. I'll spin round, there's nothing in there. So these sunflowers need taking down. So I'm going to do that. That's going to be my next job. And then the seeds will all go to the wildlife here anyway. So I'll just leave the heads on the ground of those. And the little mices can take it. Everything's looking okay in there. We've got a broccoli that's bolted there, so that needs to be chopped down. Have I got any sprouts on there? It's still glowing, but I can't see any sprouts. So that might be a no. A couple of onions left in there. And a load of weeds. So that needs a weed. So I might sort that out. In fact, I will sort that out. And we've got some radishes. I'm going to rip them up, I think. And that's bolted. You know why? Because it's been warm. So no fennel, because that's bolted. Everything just looks a bit messy, doesn't it? But like I say, I've not been for 3 weeks, so I'm going to tidy these beds up here. This kale looks all right down here, and that's spinach, but that looks like it's getting chewed as well. And then this is the corn. And I thought I might have some corn because it's been, I have there, but it's very, very small. And because it has been warm. I've got some at the back there. I'll pull them up and see. Thing is, the silks are still, you see these end bits here? Those. They've got to go brown before you pick them. So the silks go like, just like they've died. Like the silks have died on the end. And then you can pick them. See, they're not dead yet. Anyway, I've still got a pumpkin there. So it's still trying. I think that celery looks a bit worse for wear. So yeah, there's nothing great happening on here. Trevor's tripping up. So anyway, let's give you a little bit of an update. So I've had an email from the council. Well, it's not from the council actually. It's gone to somebody else now. So Um, it's basically saying thanks for my cooperation in and listing all the vegetables that I've got on my plot. Um, like I say, they can take what they want off here. I'm not really bothered because I'm not going to eat any of it until I know that it's safe. I feel a bit disconnected with my plot at the moment because um, the last thing I want to do is bring poison um, into my food. So even though I've got stuff growing, it's unlikely that any of it's going to be eaten. Uh, anyway, they've said that they'll be doing further testing and that they'll be taking up my vegetables and they'll be doing the testing on them, and then they'll let me know at a later date the results of those tests. So there's nothing really that you didn't know before, just that they've acknowledged my letter, my email, and just said that if I've got queries about my daughter's health, then I should seek information from my GP. I wouldn't have thought my GP would know about ingesting chemicals, but you never know. He might have been a scientist before he was a doctor. I don't know. Yeah, so that's it really. But like I say, so my plan in my head is, like I say, is I'm just going to grow pumpkins on here next year. I might grow things that grow in shells, so like peas and beans, the ones that I'm saving for the beans, so they're growing in pods and broad beans and stuff like that. I'm not growing anything that's exposed to the soil. Does that make sense, or am I just am I getting a bit carried away with myself? But you know, there's nobody here. Every time I come up, there's just nobody on the allotment. So it's not like a close knit community on this allotment. Nobody really talks to each other. Um, there is a WhatsApp group, but I don't have WhatsApp. I'm not really into um, social media social media apps because I find them quite poisonous. So I don't like all that. Yeah, so they don't really talk to each other. So every time I come on, I'm on my own here. There's nobody here. A lot of the allotments look really neglected. There was like new people on last year, late last year, and I'd say probably there's 22 plots I think on this site, so it's not massive. They're only small plots. I think there's only a couple that are full size. Um, but nobody's done anything this year, so near enough every single plot, apart from probably 6 plots out of all the 22, look overgrown and neglected. Um, so I'm assuming that they feel exactly the same as me and that they're a bit wary because a lot of the people on here are elderly and they've already got health conditions. So I'm assuming that that's how they feel anyway. So anyway, I'm waffling on a bit here, but it's just to really update you that there's um, not much more information since I last spoke to you, apart from that they've acknowledged my letter. Oh, I am curious to see if anybody else has wrote to the council. I'm assuming that they will have done. Um, but yeah, that's it really. So I'm dying to know what's going to happen with this site. But whatever happens, I'm not staying. That simple. And they can pay me for it as well. They can pay me. They can either give me another allotment or they can compensate me for leaving because I'm not staying here, and I'll fight them on it as well. So I hope they're ready because I will fight them. because I've put 2.5 grand into this plot with soil and compost and manure and new sheds and putting beds down and buying the wood for it and all the rest of it, and all the effort and the bark and everything. It's cost me a lot of money to get this going, because when I took it over, it was all plastic and tires. So they can compensate me for this, because you're not telling me, whinge on here, you're not telling me that big factory there is new to them. They must have known poisonous crap being pumped out of that factory into this area, and they didn't know about it till now. So why is there an allotment right next to that factory still functioning? It shouldn't even be happening. That's my view on it. Anyway, like I say, I'm going to be that big mouthy bird, me, that don't shut up until I get what I want. So they either are going to have to give me another plot. My feeling is it's going to shut anyway. But if it doesn't, and they say, oh, you know what they're like, oh, it's all right, carry on. Just carry on growing on it and eating your poisonous vegetables. We don't care. You know, one of them. Then I'm going to say no. And I should imagine there's quite a few on here that are like me that will go, no, not happening. So they're going to have to either find me another site, or they're going to have to compensate me for the amount of money that I've spent on here. It's that simple. And in the meantime, I will look for another plot, and I will keep this plot until they compensate me. I won't give it up. It's that simple. Next year, it's going to be full of pumpkins, because like I say, I don't eat them. So I'm going to have a really good go at growing all different kinds of pumpkins next year on here. And then it can still be like a little place of escape. And I'm going to look for a new plot as well. So that'll be on the card. So that'll be something to look out for next year. I've already got one site in mind. So as soon as I get the results from here, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to visit them and get my name down. Because it's a privately owned one. It's not council. And it's a big site. So I'm going to go to that one. And hopefully I'll get a plot there. And they're much bigger than this as well, which will be great for me. So anyway, that's my whinge over. I hope I haven't waffled too much. Pop your comments and your thoughts underneath, because I'd really like to know what you would do in my position. If there is anybody with a legal background who, I have been looking up like the allotment laws, because in the UK we have a law that protects allotments. And I seem to be under, because it comes under the environment safety environment law. Hang on, I'll look it up. Wait a minute. I'll read you parts of it, of the email that I got. It says, we're currently working with the Environment Agency, and the contractors are carrying out sampling along with the Food Standards Agency to put together a questionnaire now and further guidance on having your produce sampled. As soon as we are able, we will write to you again and share this information with you. The provisional results from the Environment Agency indicate that further, more detailed testing of the site is now required, to include scientific quality analysis and risk assessment, in order to form a conclusion as to whether the site meets the criteria to be classed as contaminated land under Part 2A of the Environmental Protection Act 1990. So I've had a look into this, and it's a boring read, but you know, health and safety and all the rest of it. But it does state that if the land is contaminated, then we're not allowed to grow on it. That's how I've read it anyway. Someone wants to have a read of that that's got a legal background, and let me know in the comments underneath. I'd really appreciate it, because like I say, I'm not a legal person, so the legal jargon is sometimes a little bit complicated. I'm not 100% whether that's how it reads, but I've took it as that if the land's contaminated, then it can't be grown on, and I've got to be either they've got to apply to the Secretary of State for a new patch where they can relocate us, or we've got to be compensated. So that's how I read it anyway. If you can read it for me, like I say, if you've got a legal mind, then please comment underneath. Have a little look at it. It's called, so it's the Environmental Protection Act 1990, and it's part 2A of that. And I'm looking for, and there's also laws to do with allotments as well. So I've sort of been looking at both and merging the two together. But when it comes to the Allotment Act, then that is the Provisions of Allotment Act, I think it's called. That is doesn't really say anything about contaminated land. Now, let's face facts. In the past, when my granddad had an allotment, it was in the middle of a load of mills, cotton mills, pumping out crap out of the big tall chimneys. So once upon a time, like in the war and all the rest of it, there were lots and lots of mills and rubbish being pumped into the air and into the waters surrounding allotments. And there was loads of allotments in councils, because that's how people grew the veg all them years ago. But obviously they didn't know about all these chemicals, and now they do. So they need to do something about it, don't they? So that's it. Right, let's take these sunflowers down and sort them out. Let's crack on. Right, that's me for this one. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm not really enjoying it, but hey ho. I don't know what I'll be doing on the next one, so obviously I'm not going to be able to do as many now because the winter's setting in. It's November. We're not far from the winter start from December. So that'll be it, really. I'll do the odd one, so I'm still around just to check in and let you know what's going on, and I'll keep you updated with what's going on with the contamination on the site. So bye for now. You have a good weekend, and I'll see you whenever. Bye for now. Bye.